Greetings to all Singaporeans who are watching this video. My name is Orion. I basically just wanted to talk about one major thing, okay? So some of you are probably really angry right now at a lot of Filipinos, and it's because of this Straits Times and New Paper article. It came out on print in the New Paper and the Straits Times, and it also originally came out on the online version of the Straits Times, and it quickly, very promptly got copied over to several prominent Singapore blog sites. And these are not ordinary blog sites. These are the blog sites which can tend to be a bit incendiary, the ones which are quite anti-government and very often anti-foreign worker, okay? So, what has happened is there is this article on the Straits Times which was basically saying that the leading presidential candidate in the Philippine elections had said something about burning a Singapore flag, okay? And it was saying that the reason why he said that was because there was, a few weeks ago, there was a poster being circulated on the internet urging Filipinos to vote for this candidate, and there was a picture of Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong with a caption sort of like saying that that Rodrigo Duterte, this guy who is the leading candidate right now, is most likely going to be the one who can make the Philippines more like Singapore. Okay? And the reason for that is because, just like the founding Prime Minister, the late Lee Kuan Yew, Rodrigo Duterte is very strict. He is the disciplinarian type of person. So he says, this is the law, you follow the law. Okay? That's the way he works. Now, so that's why there's a lot of similarities. He's also a very practical-minded problem solver, very pro-business, okay? He's been successfully able to transform his own native city of Davao City to become one of the best cities in the Philippines. Okay? Now, so what has happened is, because of this, the Singapore government, especially the Singapore embassy in the Philippines, has issued like a statement saying, it's regrettable that this kind of thing happened, and we would like to complain about it, that, please do not do this kind of false propaganda, and, making these kind of memes, these kind of posters which show a face of Lee Hsien Loong saying, kind of like endorsing this presidential candidate. Okay, now the problem is we can't really tell who's making it, okay, because there are a lot of volunteers. It's a people's campaign. You see, it's not coming from his group. It is people who are so overzealous. They really want him to win, so they create memes, and some of these memes are inappropriate. Okay, unfortunately. But anyway, that being said, the report was trying to say that in a recent rally, he said, oh, they are trying to complain about this meme. Oh, let's look for a Singapore flag to burn. Now, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that never happened, okay? It never happened. Never. Never, ever. Okay? It never happened because if you first look at what happened there, if you did not just read the title of the article, if you actually clicked on it, you would see in the whole body of the text that this guy who wrote the article in the Straits Times, which also came out in the New Paper, he actually used as his primary source, the one and only source that he has, was actually a blog. It was a blog. Basically, he read a blog. He saw this blog called The Mahalican. Someone had tipped him, okay? Several of us Filipinos based in Singapore, we actually confronted him and said, why did you write this? This guy, his name is Raul Dancel. He is a writer, a reporter in the Straits Times. We actually confronted him. What did you do? Why did you write this? It is not true. Duterte never said that. Why did you say that? He said, oh, I received a tip from someone that he said this during a rally, and he pointed to this blog as the source. And then I said, you pointed to the blog and you never got eyewitness testimonials or footage or anything like that showing that he really said, as a result of this inquiry or this complaint coming from the Singapore embassy in the Philippines, you are now saying that we should, that Duterte is saying that let's burn a Singaporean flag. He said, but that's what I thought. I said, why did you not double check? Why did you not double confirm? That's the way it is. In Singapore, we always double check. We always double confirm. We make sure that we say something right before we say it. But this guy did not do it. He lived in Singapore for several years, but he's gone back to the Philippines already. He has forgotten how things are in Singapore, and we need to double confirm, that we need to make sure that we are saying the right thing. He did not do that because he's been in the Philippines for a long time. He got re-assimilated into the happy-go-lucky kind of culture that unfortunately is the way things are over there. I mean, I'm not here to denigrate my own culture, but I'm just basically saying that is unfortunately the system of journalism in the Philippines. It's very erratic, it's not very objective. People don't really check the facts. I've seen a lot of wrong articles in the newspapers in the Philippines. Okay? Sometimes I see certain articles written in nice Bloomberg or some other source, and then when I look at who wrote it, it's a fellow Filipino. It's very biased, very non-objective. I'm sorry to say, I'm not here to put down my fellow Filipinos who are journalists, but something really needs to be done. It's something very, very wrong. This Raul Dancel, for some reason, okay, he acted like an idiot because he suddenly just saw the blog which say, oh, Rodrigo Duterte said that he wants to burn the flag of Singapore. He did not care to check. Okay, that's the problem. So we actually confronted this guy, and it took him a very long time before he agreed to delete the entry that he made in the online section. And it was too late. When he actually deleted it, the whole thing had already gone for printing. Actually, it took him like 5 hours before he finally said, yes, we will delete it. It took him a very long time. I mean, from the very beginning, what he should have done is to actually immediately delete it. When we told him, hey, dude, why did you write this thing based on a blog? It's a blog, it's wrong. But because I saw a video that was showing that he was telling a story. He's telling a story from what happened many, many years ago. In this particular case, okay, what happened was there is a video of Duterte, the presidential candidate, retelling a story from many years ago, from 1995. This was actually a time when Flor Contemplacion, the maid who was accused of and convicted of murdering another maid and the Singaporean kid that this other maid was taking care of. What happened there was this so-called testimony that say she's not really guilty. Can we please review the case before you actually hang her, right? So Philippine government under Fidel Ramos needed at least some kind of gesture from Singapore to ease up a bit, because the problem at the time is that there were a lot of these communist insurgent types, these rebel rousers trying to foment dissent against the government, and so the government was being put in a bind. They were being attacked and said, you're not protecting the rights of our overseas workers, blah blah blah. And he said, okay, let me show that we will do what we can to at least hold before she is executed. We just review the evidence first. But Singapore's government did not, basically they're saying, no, we already have our findings, we did all the forensic tests, blah, 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 blah. And sorry, but this is the schedule, we are going through with the schedule. And it is a major loss of face for the Philippine government. And Rodrigo Duterte, who was the mayor of Davao and himself a staunch proponent of the rights of labor rights, he got really angry and he actually did burn a Singapore flag in 1995. That was in 1995. So he was retelling the story of how he tried to defend the rights of Filipinos who are abroad. Okay, retelling a story from 1995. So that's what he did, right? This Raul Dancel, what he did, Raul Dancel, what did he do? He actually used that and said, oh look, but he's talking about it. I said, he's talking about something that happened long ago. It's different. He did not tell people, let's go burn a flag. He never said that. The only basis for this reason for him to write this article was that blog. He was reading a blog. It's like someone from the Straits Times, he reads an article in The Onion, this American satire parody blog site. It's just making fun of things, right? And someone reads fake news from there and he turns it into a news report. That's what happened to this guy. He was reading a blog. He did not verify whether it's true, and then he just made a report. That's what happened. Now he has put us Filipinos based in Singapore in jeopardy. Now a lot of Singaporeans are angry at us. Everyone is now blaming us because most of us Filipinos based in Singapore, it's like 80 to 90% of us are actually pro Duterte. We are pro Duterte. Why? Because he's the one who represents the most change. He's the only person who is talking about the major reforms that are needed to make the Philippines better so that we will have more jobs in the Philippines and the jobs will be spread out into the different parts of the Philippines and we will have a better form of government so that we no longer need to vote in a way that is so sensationalist and emotionalist. We are going to move towards a parliamentary system. He was talking about bringing in more foreign investors by taking out all the restrictions. He was talking about federalism so that it's all the different parts of the country can better manage their economies. And then thirdly, shift to a parliamentary system. He's the only one doing that. He's the only one talking about reforms, how to make the Philippines a better country so that hopefully there will be more jobs for us, it will be a better run society, and we Filipinos don't need to go to other countries like Singapore. That's the reason why we like this guy. That's the reason why we are totally supportive of him. Okay? We are supportive of Duterte because he's the guy who promises the best change and has the track record. He's a track record to do it. He's the only one who has actually done this on a small scale in his particular city. And he did it it's a really big city actually. It's not a little city, it's a big city, very big geographical area. And he was successful. He was able to drop crime rate. He was able to make more businesses come in. Okay, he was able to do a lot of really good things for that little town, that city. Okay, it's a big city. It's like a province in the Philippines. Okay, so he has the track record and he has a good plan, and he's loved by the people. All right. Now all these different politicians from the other side, the oligarchs, the people who are trying to protect the status quo, they don't like him. So they are blocking him, they are trying to find ways to destroy him. And this Raul Dancel, I think he's one of those people who probably either got paid or he's so biased against Rodrigo Duterte that he just saw this blog, suddenly he took the blog, he took the contents of the blog, made it into a Straits Times article. And the Straits Times should actually do something about this guy because he did not do his homework. He was not doing his work properly. What does a journalist do? A journalist does not only write things. A journalist needs to check first. Is this true? Is this the truth? Is this real? Is this truly happening? What is the source? Where is this coming from? You know, he did not come up with some kind of disclaimer or whatever. No, what he did was he just came up with coming from the blog. And then everyone else, the All Singapore staff, all these TR Emeritus, all these different blogs, Hardware Zone, they already started putting all these kind of things in there. And now everyone, all the haters start coming in, oh, Filipino, we hate Filipino, so many of you already in Singapore, blah, blah, blah. We never had anything, we were already getting better at, integrating ourselves. Suddenly this Raul Dancel says that he makes this news come out in the Straits Times. So what's happened now? the elections are next week already. It's on Monday next week. So it's just terrible because he has made things a lot harder for us, because now maybe MOM will start to say, oh, we don't want any more Filipinos, troublemakers, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we did not do anything, you see? If anything, I think this guy needs to be sacked by the Straits Times, because he was not doing his job. And in fact, when we were already telling him to remove it, delete it, because it's fake, it took a long time, it took him 5 hours. Idiot. I mean, honestly, Raul Dancel, you're an idiot. Why you do that? Anyway, so that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry if I get angry or whatever, but it's just, I'm quite emotional about this. Please tell all your Singaporean friends about what happened. Please let them know that this is not true. This did not happen. This thing never really happened. This is a fake news. This came from a blog, and this guy coming from the Straits Times, this Filipino reporter named Raul Dancel, he took it, put it in the Straits Times, and now it got spread out. And now there's all these people hating on us Filipinos based in Singapore. So anyway, thank you very much for your time. All right, my name is Orion. Thank you.